Hey, Hans from Request for Music here, and this video about the update or the upcoming update for Gensec. It'll be hopefully available in a couple of days in the store. There were some things that were bothering me. They're bugging me actually, and it was the fact that in between sessions, the actual pool of 64 steps that are created within the generative sequencer were not retained. So I've changed that behavior in such a sense that the first time that you use it is going to create a new pool of 64 nodes, and when you save it as a patch or when you leave the session, it's going to keep that same 64 nodes or that same 64 steps. You really have to decide for yourself manually now by using the reset button or the reset input to really regenerate or reset that 64 steps. So that's new, and that is because sometimes I just want to, instead of creating fully generative sequences, I want to actually keep them, and that's what the hold knob is for. Because what the hold knob does is it lets you step a number of cycles away from the original cycle that is started. So if I switch this on, if I just take this off, I'll have to it's actually now in pure mode, where it's going to create all kinds of different notes all of the time, but I could instead, let's see if I have enough volume actually. Hang on 1 second. Yeah, that's okay, I think. I could switch this to the mode setting on, where it's actually running all of this through the window settings, where you have this window, hold, shift, and all the other settings for that sequence. So what it does now, if I set my hold back to 0, which is freeze, it's actually going to stick with that sequence. So if I just take 4 notes, for instance, you'll hear it very easily that it's sticking with those 4 notes. The only thing is that the shift, in that case, the shift also shifts its meaning, because normally it would shift in any of the other settings for that hold. It would shift to another step or another part within the sequence, but now it actually is going to change its starting point for that fixed sequence. So in this case, these are the 4 notes that it's going to use. If I set it to 1 or any other section, it's going to take 4 notes from another starting point within the 64 pool, and I can switch it back to the first setting, and I have exactly the same notes again. So that's pretty easy to work with. Another thing is that I included a first output, where the first output is going to send a gate when the first node of that cycle from the window is actually run. So if I take this, I can take this into, let's take so you hear the difference. So something like that, so that makes it more dynamic maybe, but you can at least let you listen to that first note. So that's a lot easier. So a couple of changes. Hold has been changed in such a way that when you have it set at 0, it freezes the window movement. The only thing is that you can now then use the shift to take another starting point. So you could try if the second sequence is more to your liking. Of course, it depends on all the other settings that you have, your range. So if I set this back and take another scale, so if let's see if I can find something else. So now I've got another setting with a 1, 2, 5. So take this first. So you can still do that, and mainly what I do, if I want to have some sort of a Tangerine Dream kind of setting, I would maybe go to 8 notes and leave first my play and my probability knobs, those two here, at 100%, and set all of the things that I want for the rest. So let's take something like this. But if I then want to change my sequence just a bit, I could perhaps take my randomize, because then it, depending on how high the setting is, it would take 1, 2, a couple of notes that it will change in pitch, but still stays within the scale and so on. So that might be an easier way of working with that. For the rest, what might be nice is combining Gensec with the step sequencer. Step sequencer is a sequence that has 4 parallel lanes, 4 parallel sequences that you can set from from 1 step up to 16 steps per channel, per lane, and I can switch all of these on and run, and then it's actually going to run parallel in the same speed all of the time. And I can actually take the clock, for instance, of the bottom one to drive the clock of my my Gensec. So it's pretty fast now. So let's. But now, this is sort of my master clock, but I can then actually change this, and I can do that with division. So if I divide this by, say, 16 or something, it's running, but it's running obviously at a slower speed than the other one, but it's clocked internally. So if I, for instance, take my my pitch output now and put that into my first output, this is my shift. So that is going to change based on what it finds here to another sequence. Let's take a smaller couple of steps. So let's take this and just change this a bit. And I could just do the same kind of thing with, and I'll take 3 steps maybe and just see what it does. And take this out and put this into transpose. So it's going to transpose every so many notes to another frequency. So if I do this one on C3, this one at the lowest, so that at C5, it would change all of those settings. Oh, I'll have to divide that as well. Maybe take the range up. So yeah, that's the the kind of thing that you could do with Gensec, and on top of that, some polyphonic synthesizer, or maybe take what do we have? Let's see. I could take my my grains modular, something like that, out. So if I take my grains and I'll put it here in between. I just want to put it into my delay as well, so I'll put it in front of my delay, and in here I could just load any sound that I have. So I took in my thing, I've got my choirs augmented wave here, so I'll stop this for now for a while just to let me hear what I can do with that. So I'll put that in here, and I probably need an extra channel for my filter in there as well, and I'll just dial this up. And this is the original sound, and obviously in here I can also use the grains. It doesn't, or it hardly does that, but at the moment. So let's take this up and play around with that. I'll lower my density, take the position up, take the width of my grains up, and spray it around over the full sequence. Going to spread that in stereo, give it some more sound. I could change the size of those if I wanted to. I could also use tuning, some Renning tuning, but I could still switch on my let's say major pentatonic or something like that, something like this. And now let's combine. And of course I could change the scale of this one to major pentatonic as well. So then I have a slightly fuller, richer tone to work with. So yeah, there's so much you can do in those combinations. So I hope you liked this. The update will be available if you already bought the Gensec module. It'll be in your library within a couple of days, probably, and otherwise it'll be available in the store itself. You could always try a demo. So anyway, I hope to see you in the next video. So cheers for now. Bye bye.